think I have to go back. Hello everyone. I'm just going to take a few seconds to connect to my Instagram live feed. Go live. You can switch it up. There's no one yet. We're still waiting for people to come on.
And she doesn't want to show that it's Russell or something.
Okay. Hello everyone. So I'm checking for connection. Hello Judy. Good evening everyone. Thank you for joining in. We're going to pray that we're able to see this show till the end. Today I am working with just one network provider. Usually I'll work with 3, but today I'm working with 1. It's been a very rough week for everyone. The internet has been, the internet service providers have not been on top form, and that is no fault of theirs. So everything is a bit erratic. Good evening, Oracle. Hi. Good evening, Judy Ofulue. Good evening, Lara Sage. Good evening, Christina. Kalis Fonda. Thank you all for joining in. I came on earlier on my YouTube live, but I had to end the feed and then start all over again because the connection wasn't working properly. So welcome everyone to today's show. And it's Life's Journey. This is Life's Journey, and I'm your host, Benedicta. So thank you all for joining in. Hello, sis. Thank you all for joining in. It's been a very rough week, and all I can say is thank God I'm alive. Thank God we are all alive. We can gather together on today's show. So many people are not fortunate to say that. So many people were alive this time last week, but today they are no more. So if there is anything, we shouldn't take our lives for granted. We shouldn't take our health for granted. We should take our loved ones around us for granted. So thank God to see a new day. So this is Life's Journey, and on today's topic, we'll be discussing resilience in the face of adversity. Resilience in the face of adversity. It is a topic that ministered to me, I felt we should talk about what being resilient means, how to be resilient when you're faced with adversity. We're going through so much as a country. We're going through so much individually. And some of us are struggling with our mental health right now. Some of us are trying to make sense out of the events that unfolded this past few weeks. A lot of us are uncertain what tomorrow is going to look like. We don't know what next week is going to bring. Uncertainty is heavy in the air, and we're not rested. We are anxious. We aren't ourselves. So what do we do in the face of adversity? Do we flee? Do we stand and face it? Do we stand and think of solutions to the situation that we find ourselves in? We have our flight and our fight hormones right now playing tricks on us. We don't know if we should flee from our current situation. We don't know if we should stand and make sense out of it and face it head on. What is resilience? Resilience is your ability to be able to withstand difficult situations. In some topics, in one of the topics I treated some weeks ago, we talked about mental toughness, we talked about mental strength. It is in a situation as this, in a time like this, that our mental strength comes to play. Our mental strength becomes a weapon for us to survive the situation around us now. You don't gain resilience you're not born with being resilient. You work towards being resilient. You earn it by training your mind to be tough. You're not born with it. So times like this, when our mental health is being tested, it is our ability to be tough, our ability to face challenges in the face and come up with solutions instead of fleeing that will make us overcomers. Like I keep saying, some of us are not as tough as others. Some of us are mentally tougher than others. So for those of us that are mentally stronger, it is our responsibility to carry others along. It is our responsibility to give a crying shoulder to someone that isn't as tough as we are. What are the ways that we can overcome adversity? One of the ways we can overcome adversity is this. You can choose to allow it to drown you, if you don't want to fight it, which is not a solution. You can decide that you want to fight it and become stronger at the end of the day. And you can decide to fight it and go back to having all you used to have before you were faced with adversity. The third option is always the best. Going head on, challenging your situation and becoming better off for it, and finding yourself in a better position than you once were before the adversity. So there are three outcomes, or rather there are three things that can come out of a challenging situation. If you're faced with adversity, it is either you face it head on, defeat it, and become better off for it, or you allow it to drown you, or you fight it and you're able to get yourself back to where you once were. But I like to tell people that you should look at challenging situations around you, look at the adversity you are facing as an opportunity to push yourself a step further, coming out at the end of the day stronger than you were before it. Everyone in life, it is difficult as an adult to say you've never been faced with adversity. It is almost impossible because at some point in our lives, we are faced. Tastebudz, I've been so depressed, my sister. I have posted a video crying on the Lord's behalf of my country, Nigeria. Christina, you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of us are going through so much right now. But your ability to come out of it is what makes you a victor. You don't want to drown in your sorrows. You don't want to allow it to take you into a dark hole. Remember, you are responsible for your mental health. It is your responsibility to ensure that you do not find yourself in a dark hole as a result of depression. What are the ways to fight adversities? One, begin to count the things that you still have. Because I keep telling people that the situation can never be the worst that the world has seen. There has to be one or two things that you can look around and say, thank God I still have this. You might be thinking that your store is burned. You lost your entire business and your business has no insurance. But are you also thinking about those that actually lost their lives? You are still alive. You've got your health intact, but you have lost your finances. Take out a jotter, like a writing pad. Begin to write those things that you are thankful for. Those things that you can still count as your blessings. I always tell people, in whatever situation you find yourself in, always realize that things can actually be worse than it presently is. Yes. If you feel you've lost your income, you've lost your job, you still have your health. Some people lost their jobs and discovered they have a tumor or a lump in the breast. That is a near cancer situation. So now, not only are they jobless, but they now have a health condition or an underlying health issue. So now their situation is not just that they lost their jobs. Their situation is not just that they lost a loved one. Their situation is not just that their office building or their workplace was burnt down. They have no finances. They have an underlying health issue. They have even lost a loved one along the way. So what are those blessings you can still count despite the situation, the difficult situation, the traumatic situation that you find yourself in? I'm going to use myself as an example. When I closed down my factory in Port Harcourt, I felt that was the end of my world, like my career had come to an end. I didn't know how best to start again. I didn't know how to pick up the pieces of my life. But something in me kept telling me, you might have lost, still have the building, okay? You might have lost your financial income temporarily, but you still have your children with you. They are all alive. You have the custody of your children or the temporary custody of your children. I still have the opportunity of raising my kids. I wake up every morning, I look at their beautiful faces, they call me mommy, I'm still able to raise them, feed them, nurture them. That was something for me to be thankful about. I looked at myself. I was alive, I was healthy. I was no longer as depressed as I was before I filed for my divorce. Okay? I am alive. I no longer sleep with my eyes open that someone might barge through my bedroom door and give me a beating of my life or strangle me. I was living in my own home, free of that fear. I had my kids with me. My finances was zero. It was nothing to write home about. But I had me. I had my mind in a happy place. I was no longer in that dark hole. So I started taking down notes. I started taking down notes of my blessings, the things around me that, makes me happy, that puts that smile on my face. I reconnect. So what I'm going to be doing is each time I lose connection, I'm just going to try and wait for it to reconnect me. So please be patient with me. Be patient. So look at, there's so many things. Supergirl said, I am thankful for my family. I thank God for my life. Supergirl said, we lost everything, but I am thankful for my family. I am thankful for my life. So when you start putting that list together and you start thank God for all those things you can still count as blessings, you will find yourself coming out of that adversity. And I keep telling people, do not expect to make a big leap or a big step. If you're faced with adversity, baby steps. Remember, baby steps. Take it a day at a time. Your recovery process or your process of coming out of that difficult situation is not going to be instant. It's going to be like a baby learning how to run, learning how to walk, and eventually running. If you do not approach it with baby steps, you just jump into it and you try to run, we all know what the outcome will be. You will fall. And you might fall further down than the situation that you're currently in. So remember, baby steps. Be compassionate with yourself. Show yourself some compassion. Stop beating yourself up because of your situation. Because if, for example, it's a friend of yours or a neighbor of yours that lost a loved one or that lost their job, what will be your reaction? Your reaction towards your neighbor will be compassionate. You will tell that neighbor, oh, I'm so sorry you lost your job. I'm so sorry you lost a loved one. So that same compassion that you know you will show to some other person, remember to show it to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Be patient with yourself. It's a gentle, or rather a slow but a gradual process. Nothing should be radicalized. Do not connected. 1 minute. So remember to pat yourself on the back as you walk towards your journey to recovery. You might set goals for yourself and you might not actualize them. Don't be hard on yourself. Take it a day at a time. Encourage yourself by saying, I set out 3 goals for myself for the first phase and I was able to achieve just 1. Good job, Benedicta. Good job. I did a good job. I know I've got this. Be gentle on yourself and take it a day at a time. Those are the steps. Understand that adversity makes us being mentally tougher. We end up being much more experienced, and we end up even being more compassionate when we see others battling their own wars, because then you remember what it was like for you when you were down there. So you will be an advocate for those that are now going through their own phase. Remember, life is in phases. This year might be my glorious year where I'm winning all the awards, getting all the contracts, everything I set out for myself is working perfectly well. And you being my cousin or my friend might be going through a very rough patch. Next year, I might be going through my own rough patch, and you might be the one smiling and making all the 6 figures and all of those. So remember, because it is sunny on Priscilla's end, doesn't mean it will not be sunny on your own end next time. So when you are going through your own rough patch, don't let it weigh you down. Do not let it take you into a dark hole. Do not let it damage you. Do not become a damaged goods because you are. depressed or because you're facing adversity. Pull yourself through it and remember tomorrow you might be the one helping some other person come out of their own tragic situation. Become an advocate for that cause, because I believe in lives that when we are faced with something or a difficult situation that doesn't drown us, that doesn't destroy us, it is for a purpose. It is for you to be a stronger person and for you to be positioned in a place where you can help others come out of their own tragic situations. Look at me. Today, I can advise people that have hit rock bottom financially, people that have gone through a loss of job or major loss of income. I can advise them. I can comfort them. I can talk to them because I know. Good evening, Shupa. Thank you for joining in. So I can advise them because I have been there once. I have been there once. I have been faced with adversity in my life so many times. Once I shared with you guys how I was temporarily blind. I lost my sight. If anyone knows what it feels like to lose your sight and you're unable to see, that could have been a permanent solution. But God pulled me through it. He made me go through it so I can appreciate my health, so I can appreciate the gift of being able to see all colors, the gift of just being able to see your loved ones, not hear their voices, but you can actually see and feel and touch them. Some people went down that route that I went, and they never regained their sight. So I do not joke with my health. I do not joke with the gift of being alive. I do not joke with the gift of just being able to look at my children, look at my husband, look at my loved ones and say, wow, it's good to be alive. So it takes so much to actually get impressed. It takes too much because I have seen so many tragic things in life. I lost my sister, my immediate elder sister, when she was 32. She wasn't even 33, and we were so close. That I can even talk about it today is a miracle because I thought I was going to lose my life. When she died, I wanted to die with her. There was no reason. I didn't feel like being alive. I didn't just want to leave. I had heartache so bad that I couldn't breathe. I had to consciously talk to myself to inhale and exhale. The pain in my chest was so hard that sometimes I'll have to use my palm to hold my chest down because it was like I couldn't breathe. I survived that. So when I see someone going through the pains of losing a loved one, I know what they are going through. I can console them. I can feel their pain because I have been there. So when you go through some very difficult situations in life, some very tragic situations in life, God is actually making you go through it for a purpose, for a reason, so you can reach out and comfort others. You lost all your finances and you had nothing to lean on. But somehow, gradually, you were able to pick up the pieces of your life and forge ahead. So when you see people going through a financially draining moment in their life, you would know what it feels like. And you, more than anyone, will be willing to assist them to pick up the pieces of their lives. So on today's show, that is why I am so excited. I am really excited that Life's Journey, together with our sponsors, well-meaning women that came together to support Nigerians to support us in this tragic situation that we have found ourselves in. I was so elated. I was so happy because I know what it felt like when I was financially down. I had multiple lawsuits. I had legal bills that could train 4 children in school and you would still have some change. I had all of those financial constraints and I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to come out of it. But baby steps, one day at a time. I looked at all my challenges, I tabled them before me, and I started strategizing. And one after the other, I was checking those boxes and I was coming out of it. Life is not always a bed of roses. I'm still not entirely free, but I am confident because I have come a long way and I have survived for so many years and I'm still surviving. So if you have lost your source of livelihood as a result of the protest that happened this past 2-3 weeks, Christian.Bunny, if you have lost your source of livelihood, please do not give up hope. Do not give up hope. There is still light at the end of the tunnel. I am sitting here today and I'm telling you not give up hope. You're not alone. There is nothing that you're going through now that someone on planet Earth hasn't gone through before. You aren't the first. And you will not be the last. That is how life is. That is how life is. The series is Life's Journey. What is your story? I have told you a lot of my stories, and I have so much more that by the grace of God, I'm going to be sharing with you all over the coming months, just to encourage you, just to tell you that you should hang in there. As long as you have your life and you have your health, there is nothing to worry about. You are going to come out of it. You are going to come out of it. Now on today's show, we're going to be helping 10 micro business owners that have been affected by the wake of the protest in Lagos. We're going to be, I said micro businesses, not SME, and of course not the large scale like spa and the rest. Those ones are insured, we can't even begin to go there. But we're here to help those micro businesses that have been destroyed as a result of the riots. We want to help. Together with some of the sponsors, well-meaning people, well-meaning women that are humanitarians, that are compassionate, they want to help. They've come together to help. We're going to be picking 10 businesses that has been destroyed as a result of everything that has happened in Lagos. And our verification process is thorough. So if you're going to be submitting your business name for assistance, financial assistance, we're going to be asking you some series of questions. We're going to be demanding some proof and all that. And once we're done, we're going to be giving you 50,000 naira to assist you in getting back on your feet. It isn't easy. To make it in life isn't easy. We owe it to ourselves to support each other. We owe it to ourselves to be each other's brother's keeper. Life is not all about being successful, making all that money, and spoiling yourself without helping the people around you. What is the joy in life, really? If you make all that money and you're unable to spread love around you, what is the joy in it? You make all that money and you're not able to touch lives. You would have lived a wasted life. You would have lived a wasted life. I have always been big on reaching out to help people in whatever capacity that you can. Growing up, I was fortunate to have the kind of parents that I had. My dad retired as Assistant Controller General of the prisons, and he started his prison career as Chief Superintendent of Prison. My mom retired as Chief Superintendent of Prison. And funny enough, or fortunately for me, she was in charge of the penitentiary department. She actually worked in the prison yard where the inmates, the female inmates and the male inmates, were being rehabilitated so they can be reintroduced to the society upon dismissal from the prison. So my dad used to say the job of the prison department was mostly correctional. It is a penitentiary system. Yes, you go there, you're penitent, and then the correct your ideas or your notions about what or how you should live as a decent citizen. And then when they feel you have been properly tutored and rehabilitated, you will now be reintroduced to civilized society. So growing up, I used to go to the female wards, the female cells a lot. Yeah, I used to go there to see my mom, and I used to have an opportunity of chatting with the connection. I lost the connection on my YouTube feed. Okay, it's back up. So I remember when I was 9 years old, I asked the female inmate why she was in prison. And then she told me I should endeavor to live my life as a good person, that she was a bad person, that she didn't know what she was bad. She moved around with bad friends and she would be leaving. And she told me she was not going to be on time. And I felt so sad. And that got me thinking, even as a little child, it got me thinking. And I realized that there is penalty for not living your life right. You know, there is a penalty for not living life right. So from that early age of 9, I knew that there is a price to pay if you do not live your life right. So I will say that I was fortunate to have been exposed to, that wasn't the first time, second or third time. And so over the years, I grew up to realize that the inmates, these people we call prisoners, they're not prisoners, well, I don't like to use the word prisoner. They are inmates kept in a penitentiary. They are human beings like you and I. I met with a lot of people that were also innocent. There was a woman that told me she is serving lifetime imprisonment because she killed her husband. She pushed her husband off the staircase in self-defense. The man was battering her, or used to batter her, and it was a known thing. You know, it was a known thing. Everybody could attest to that. It was a known thing. She was constantly being battered. And on that fateful night, she pushed her husband over the staircase, and the man died in cold blood. I met with her. I remember her. They call her Hajia Queen. She had one gold tooth. She was Muslim. So I had all these stories growing up. I had this experience. I interacted with these people, and I realized that they are not bad people. Some of them were just unfortunate, and some of them, of course, were paying the price for living a bad life. So from a very early age, I was informed that there are certain things you do in life that you get to pay dearly for it. And from a very early age in life, I realized that we have to be compassionate with each other. We have to show love to each other. We always have to reach out and love people, because in as much as they were inmates, my mom used to play with them. She used to hug them. She used to gist with them. Every day when she comes to work, they call her mama. Mama, 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 you didn't bring this for me. Mama, where's my soap? Mama, you promised me this. So I grew up watching my mom taking care of them, giving them, relief material, because the government never used to give them enough. So she always used to give them things like, sanitary towels, bathing soaps, and stuff like that, that women would need, and the government wasn't giving them enough. So I grew up watching my mom do all this. So it was a part of my life. So it is also our responsibility as parents, as adults, as guardians, to raise our children, our wards, raise them to be charitarians, raise them to be humanitarians, raise them to be compassionate, to love, even when you feel that those people are not worthy of your love. They have erred in one way or the other. You still have to love them. That is what loving unconditionally means. Loving unconditionally. So here I'm going to plead with you, if you have what it takes to reach out to help someone that is going through a rough patch right now as a result of this protest in Nigeria as a whole, please endeavor to reach out and help. We are helping just 10 people for now with the sum of 50,000 naira each. I wish we could do more, but the most important thing is for you individually to reach out and help as many people as you can. Do not wait until they become broken, and damaged, until they go into a dark hole and they're unable to come out. Do not wait until that happens, because it might be too dangerous. Even living amongst people that are damaged is dangerous. We saw what happened with the riots. We saw how the people that were calling hoodlums, I call them damaged youths. Youths that are broken, youths that have given up hope in life. You saw how destructive they were. And that is because they have lost hope in life. They feel that life has nothing in store for them anymore. So, what are they living for? They should as well damage whatever property it is, loot whatever it is, and have that instant gratification, because that is how their mind has been wired. And why is their mind wired that way? Because they are broken and damaged. So this is our opportunity. If you know you have what it takes to help someone from going down that dark hole, please reach out and help. Maybe the reason why you went through adversity at some point in your life is so that you will be a help to someone right now that is going through their own dark phase. I went through my own stage where I was financially down, as in it was really bad. And I had to fight and work my way out of it. Today, I can be of help to some other person. So there is a reason why we go through what we go through. I know how many women that were suicidal in their bad marriages that over the years I have helped counsel. And I felt happy with myself. I felt better with myself that I was able to help them. And guess what? If I had allowed my own situation to drown me many years ago, I would not have been opportune to help those women. So this might be your own opportunity of helping someone to come out of that dark place and prevent them from becoming damaged. So do not wait until people around you get broken and damaged. Help them, lift them up. Be that support structure that they need. Hold their hands, listen to them. Help them financially in any way that you can. If it is in giving free trainings, if you're a skilled apprentice, maybe if you're a skilled cobbler, you're a skilled seamstress, you're a trained chef, it might be free skills acquisition. Train someone for free so that person can have a source of livelihood. I believe in helping people to fish or teaching them how to fish. I do not believe in giving stipends, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 naira for you just to feed for a week, for a day. Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes all you need is a hot plate of food, don't get me wrong. But in the long run, you need to learn how to fish. So here in Life's Journey, we're here to help people in whatever way that we can. And I want you to do the same. And at the end of today's show, if you know you fall into the category of the people with the micro businesses that are distressed that we want to help, send us a message. There is a post I put up on my Instagram page to ensure transparency. I do not want DMs. Please just go to that post, write your name, tell us what the problem is, and we are going to reach out to you. We want to help 10 people with 50,000 naira each to help them. We don't want people to be broken and damaged. We want them to be broken, but not devastated, not damaged. The antidote for resilience, the antidote for adversity is resilience. Always remember that. The antidote for adversity is resilience. How resilient are you in the face of adversity? That is what is going to pull you out of it. Do not flee from the situation. Fight. Fight in the face of that situation. I'm a fighter. I have fought so many battles, seriously, and I'm still fighting. Life, or rather living, is for the brave. So you just have to keep fighting. It's never over until it's over. You've got your life, you've got your health. Even if you do not have your health, you've got your life. So it is worth fighting for. Fight for it. So that's it, super girl. Thank you for taking the notes down. Don't wait until people get broken and damaged until you help. Stay strong. Keep the light shining, everyone. And remember, if you fall into the category of the people we want to help, send us a message. I'm not a preacher of the link. Shupo, I didn't get what you're trying to say. What did you say, Shupo? To be compassionate can do. If my mom didn't raise me the way she did, I wouldn't understand why life is the way it is. I might not have been able to face my own adversity when it hits me. But growing up, I saw a lot of people go through so much, so much. So I knew that I'm not the first that this is happening to. A lot of people have gone through this and are still alive. So why am I going to allow my situation to drown me? Do you understand? Do you get it? So always know that you aren't the first to go through what you're going through, and you wouldn't be the last. It's difficult, but businesses in Nigeria is frustrating already. Now hoodlums are making it worse. Yes, we know, but like I keep telling you, hang in there. Don't give up. Be resilient. Be confident in yourself. Trust the process. Each time you make little progress, give yourself a pat on the back and say, well done. I've got this. If I can do this, I can finish it off. One day at a time, and you'll make it. Thank you all for joining in. I couldn't turn on my AC because of the sound production. The noise is going to interfere with the sound production of the recording. So thank you all for joining in, and please stay positive. It is bye-bye from Live with Benedicta. So on my YouTube feed, thank you for joining in. Catch you up same time next week on youtube.com/tastebudzng. It is Life's Journey with Benedicta. Love you all and stay safe. Bye.